Good evening and welcome. The big story we are tracking in your story this evening is about Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin is big business this hour. What began the year trading below $1,000 is now going for more than $14,000. That's a return of more than 1,300%. Yes, you heard correct. 1,300% on your investment. The cryptocurrency touched a record high above $16,000 earlier in the day, before tumbling more than 12% in volatile Asian trading. It dropped below the $15,000 mark. Bitcoin was down 12.6% on the Bitstamp exchange after rising to a record $16,000. It was still up more than 30% for the week as investors debated about whether the cryptocurrency was in a bubble that was about to burst. Benjamin Dias, founder and CEO, London's Block Exchange. All right, joining me live from New Delhi at this moment is PM Mishra, a cryptocurrency expert. Good evening, Mr. Mishra. Good to have you on WION this evening. Has the bubble burst finally?
Good evening. Good evening, sir. Frankly speaking, still it's not bubble burst. It will take few more months. Maybe some years. No, it's not actually bubble burst.
All right.
Rally will go on. Whatever the scenario is, rally will go on.
All right. Please carry on, Mr. Mishra.
The rally will go on. It's because of, as far as Asian market is concerned, Asian market is just open to Bitcoin. The demand is growing and the awareness is go up. So again, Asian market will play a big role in spite of the fact China banned a lot of cryptocurrencies, ICOs, and even there is uncertainty on Bitcoin in China. But still then, as far as Indian subcontinent is concerned and few other countries nearby, they play major role. So it's all about demand supply. And if the population of 140 billion, that people are there, a lot of guys, they're just awareness is increasing. So as far as the rally of 16,000 you are talking about, it's all about Europe, US, and Asian market so far has not played fair role. So I don't think bubble burst so far has happened. It will take few more months, maybe a year's time to happen so far. Otherwise, I don't think this is the right time we can say it's bubble burst.
All right, Mr. Mishra, you spoke about how Bitcoin is gaining in popularity in India and around the world. But that brings me to my next question. How does India compare to the rest of the world? How popular is Bitcoin becoming, if not already, in India?
See, in 2015-16, the awareness, in India was not so high. But during these days, from 25,000 to some lakhs, normally few of the corporate houses, even individuals, those who were unaware about the stuff, they are right now ready to spend on Bitcoin. But frankly speaking, as far as regulatory concern, it's still there in India. Government is not clear about the same, and RBI is keep on giving warnings. Still then, market is wild about Bitcoin.
Your point is well taken, Mr. Mishra, but do you have any numbers to suggest or give us a sense of how big the market might be in India? Also, you spoke about regulation. Now, you think regulations are enough, or you think there is scope for more regulation in the days ahead?
So, currently there is no regulation in India. India, as far as Bitcoin is concerned, but frankly speaking, regulation is necessary. In few of the countries we have already seen in the other part of the world where government say, okay, it's banned. You can take an example of Russia. Russia banned Bitcoin, but at the end of the day, after 7 to 8 months, they have to regulate it. So the situation in India is such, if at all we regulate it, then that will be, India will be in a better situation.
But is transacting or dealing in Bitcoin
right now,
legal in India as of today?
Ambiguity is not good.
Ambiguity is not good.
Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. Ambiguity is not good. As of today, it's not legal and government has no say about it. And if you go for RBI's last warning, you can check it out. But RBI is strictly saying like, okay, we are no way concerned about Bitcoin and virtual currency. Don't deal with it. Strict warning from RBI. But still then, as because the anonymous nature and it's all about virtual, so you cannot just stop individual to deal with. It's really difficult to stop it.
But Mr.
And you check out the profitability, the margin, it's so high.
But Mr. Mishra, do you have any numbers to suggest how big or small this market or size of the market in India would be? The volume of transaction at that?
See, if you talk about India, maybe in coming a year's time, I can say it will grow up to 10% minimum. Whatever the situation right now, it's I think 4 to 5% market of Bitcoin is still there in India. Maybe after a year's time you'll see the double or triple size of the same, because the way things are moving ahead.
And for those who might not be familiar with how the market treats Bitcoin or the Bitcoin exchange, Mr. Mishra, if I understood you correctly, you are saying, one, it is not legal in India, but yet it has a sizable, growing popularity in India. But that said, you spoke about the absence of regulation. Now, in your estimation, how should we regulate this going forward at the RBI level or at the level of the ministry?
See, as far as RBI level is concerned, RBI can regulate it definitely. And ministry level, yes, we have to take some steps to find out how to regulate it, because we can take an example from other countries. Take it as Japan, Germany, Australia is a bright example. Australia, very advanced country. So we can take an example and we can definitely regulate it. And remember one thing, it's such a huge population of, we are a subcontinent at the end of the day. And there is a part to it. Bitcoin can be transacted without the permission of the government, that even government knows. In few of the countries, local Bitcoin exchange they deal with. So it's better to regulate right now. This is the initial stage. We have to put a break now.
All right, Mr. Mishra, do stay on while I take a moment to look at another aspect of this story. As a global frenzy around Bitcoin continues to lure more investors, Indonesia's central bank will bar financial technology companies from using digital currencies on their platforms. The curbs, effective from the 1st of January, won't apply to trading of digital currencies. While the use of cryptocurrencies in Indonesia is relatively small, the move to clamp down on transaction deals another blow to a market that globally has surged to be worth hundreds of billions of dollars. Indonesian policymakers are worried about the potential impact of cryptocurrencies on the broader financial system, including ramifications for inflation and monetary policy. Bank Indonesia has also raised concerns about the possible use of cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin to fund terrorism or as a payment system that could be used by drug traffickers. All right, if I can bring back Mr. Mishra to the discussion. Mr. Mishra, we've spoken about the legality or otherwise of using Bitcoins. From the perspective of national security, how serious a threat do you think Bitcoin could pose going forward?
See, it's definitely Bitcoin can play a big role as far as national security and national threat is concerned. There is no second thought about it because of the nature it has carry, So, but at the end of the day, if regulatory will be in place, if cyber security will be in place, that can be restricted. As such, apart from Bitcoin, there are separate other modules where people are transacting for, different bad actors are there, they are transacting. So maybe in cash, maybe in some other way. But yeah, Bitcoin gives a very, easy handle to transact. That's a part. But once you regularize, you at least the investigating authority has got the, that kind of authority to control it, to investigate on it. And yes, if you say technologically, maybe people are saying it's anonymous and it cannot be controlled, but I'm not fully 100% agree about it. It can be controlled. and it has to be controlled, otherwise it's a big threat for national security. There is no second thought about it.
All right, on that note, Mr. Mishra, I want to thank you for your inputs on your story this evening. That was PM Mishra, a cryptocurrency expert, joining us live from New Delhi. But staying on this story, let's listen to some of the reactions coming in from London now.
We've invested in this business on the basis of a 10-year plan because we believe that cryptocurrency and blockchain really is the future of the transfer of value. So this is not we're not really here to get excited about any particular currency in particular, because currencies really are as volatile as other markets. But we're here to provide an exchange, a safe pair of hands for people to invest with, a trusted environment, and crucially an educational component so people really understand what they're buying.
Nobody can actually forecast this thing. It could be that there is a bubble. The reality is that it's hard to say because we don't really know what kind of fundamental value Bitcoin actually has. And it's not like in stocks where you look at the earnings and dividends and you look at the prices and the spread between the two. You can have some kind of an idea.